And now that now that your blog is set up, it has won many awards, and what are the challenges that you are facing? I mean, previously you faced the challenges of getting interviews, but now that your blog is so successful, what are other challenges that you are facing?
At the moment, I wouldn't say there are challenges. It's more like things that I'm looking forward to. It's like possibly growing the business so that, instead of just one book, maybe I'll have a series of books. So that's coming up. I'll be working on my second book very soon. So for those who are interested, just stay tuned. And I also want to look into, say, training bigger groups of people. Instead of like 5 or 6 each time round, how about a crowd of, say, 20, 50, 100? So that's what I'm looking into. I wouldn't say it's a challenge. It's just something I'm looking forward to. And we'll see how that goes.
So that was for the blog. But how about challenges as an entrepreneur? Like, what were some of the challenges that you face or difficulties that are pulling you back?
Challenges, in terms of being an entrepreneur. Previously, it was like in terms of self-discipline. That's very important because I share this all the time. When I first became a blogger and I quit my job, I had so much difficulty. Like really getting things together, like, in terms of waking up early in the morning, I couldn't do it. I just sleep till like 12 noon, like really chill, and when I'm awake, then I'll go do something fun that I like go for a swim, then have a very lazy sort of breakfast, and then finally I get down to work, but that could be like late in the afternoon or even evening already. So what I did, at some point in time was to tell myself I have to wake up this idea, I couldn't just keep doing this, because as an entrepreneur, if you let yourself go like that, that's the end of your business. I don't care how awesome your business idea is, but if you do not have even basic things like self-discipline, it's not going to work. So that's one thing I learned. I think one of the challenges I currently face is time management, because there's so many events to go to, so many reviews to do, and you really have to prioritize, like which one is most important for your business, what you're currently doing, and how much time you're going to spend on each, say a review or an interview, or even say at an event. So I think these days I turn down many requests because I just don't think certain brands or products fit into my blog, and then I just don't do those at all. I mean, those bloggers who are just starting out, we're just very open to all sorts of reviews and all sorts of events. You're just so happy to be invited, until you get to a point whereby your house is just flooded with review samples and all, right? Then you decide that, okay, something has got to change, So right now I'm more selective, I would say. So planning my time more wisely. And I think one tip that I've learned would be to have 5 things that I want to do each day. So I write them down, say the night before or early in the morning that day. These 5 things have to be done before I go to bed. Yeah, so that really helps people, in terms of like avoiding, say, distraction, and then people would say, this can wait till tomorrow, then they procrastinate. But, you really have to set those tasks and get them done, because that's the only way you're going to move forward.
So in other words, the freedom of being a full-time blogger or entrepreneur comes at a price.
I wouldn't say it comes at a price, but it comes with the responsibility of being able to manage your time well, and also you need to learn things like how to say no to people in a nice way. So those things you learn along the way, I would say, on the job training.
And you mentioned procrastination. I think procrastination, be it for entrepreneurs or for everyday working professionals, it's a huge problem. So what are some of the things that, other than making a list of 5 things to do, what are some of the things that you do to force yourself to take action and not procrastinate?
I think when you try to force yourself to do something, right, even if the thing gets done, you don't have fun doing it. It's more of drawing yourself towards doing something, incentivizing yourself. So for instance, say I'm really craving a particular like a molten chocolate lava cake or something like that, right? Then, I'd say, okay, I need to do this done. I need to call these 5 people on this list before I go for my dessert. And if I don't call all these 5 people, then I won't get any dessert today. So I'm rewarding myself, and I'm doing these things happily because I know the dessert is waiting for me. So when I'm calling them, there might be a sense of urgency, but I'm happy because I know that, after I put the phone down at the end of the 5th call, I'll be able to reward myself with dessert. So, I think you work with what works for you. Different people, I know some people, they just like maybe deadlines. Some people work better under pressure or stress. I work better when, I'm being incentivized. Yeah, so that works for me.
So it's about making the process fun and making a game out of it, would you say?
Yeah, I would think so. Life is really fun. It's just people who make life boring or like stressful or something that, is full of anxiety, but life really is fun.
So, I think some of our viewers will be rather curious because you have a huge fan base on Facebook. In fact, Grace's Facebook page, there are about 8,400 fans the last time I checked this morning. So, how did you become so successful in social media? What are some of the strategies that you use?
I think you guys have quite a number of followers on Facebook too, right? I think for me, right, I don't necessarily go all out to like grow the Facebook page, but it's more of engagement, because when like people leave comments, I will definitely respond to them. Not all of them, but most of them. And even if they leave comments on my blog, I respond to them. Even if it's just to say thank you for sharing. So on Facebook, people like engagement, especially if they think that, wow, this award-winning blogger or this best-selling author is responding to my comment, and then they're like so happy, and then they come back again, they tell their friends, so I think that's important. But for me, people have mentioned, that I'm very much the same online and offline. So if, I'm a certain way when you meet me in person, I'm the same way on Facebook. I don't have like a dual identity. So I don't pretend to be someone I'm not when I'm on Facebook. It's just really, if I'm happy about meeting someone, I take a selfie with a minister, I put it on my Facebook page, or I'm feeling upset about something, then I'll put it there. So, I think it's about being real, being genuine. The more you share, the more willing you are to share something, even if it's personal, on a page even. People tend to like you more as a person. I think likability is very important, and you want to be seen as being real, and you must answer people's questions or respond to their comments, and then they'll be motivated to leave more comments and let their friends know, to come and like your page.
So fan engagement level on your page is very important to you as a blogger or as an entrepreneur.
Yeah, it is. So in fact, a fellow blogger once told me that if you have I think it was 0.1% of your fans talking about your page, that's very good already. But I told him no, constantly mine's about 10%.
Wow.
So 0.1 to me is no good. You must have people constantly chatting with you, even if it's just to talk about the latest movie, that you've watched. I think it's good to always keep in touch with people. Then they feel like you're a friend, even though you've never met. And then finally, when you meet the person, it's like, wow. Yeah, so that's what happens with me.
And what are some of the things that you do on top of your Facebook page to drive traffic to your website then?
When I started out, the reason why I interviewed people, right? And shared those interviews on my blog is because if I share an interview, after which I can tell the person, if the person is a celebrity, for instance, then I say, hey, I've got this, the interview post up, and this link's for you to share with your fans or followers. And when they do that, then their fans and followers come to read my interview, so that works for me. I don't have to pay anyone, in order to get traffic to my blog. So in a way, that worked quite well for me.
So it sounds like a really simple strategy, but it has such a big impact. Like just sharing the interview that you created, and that's the main driver of traffic to your website then.
Yeah, because after you do interviews, right, and you have create a lot of content, of course Google now brings me the traffic. But at the start, right, I got a lot of traffic because I was interviewing all these business people and celebrities and millionaires, and I have them share this interview on their page, their website or whatever. And their followers, their customers, all come over and read the interview. Yeah, so that's what worked for me. I mean, I chanced upon that. I didn't plan this consciously. All I wanted to do was just interview people. And then after that, I thought, since I'm sharing this on the blog, why not have the interviewees themselves bring more traffic to the blog? So that worked. And like now, of course, with I think over 300 and maybe 50 or 80 posts, then a lot of the traffic comes from Google.